Okay, it's time for another update on the Nazca Mummies. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm still getting over a cold, so my voice is probably going to be a little bit nasally, but, you know, bear with me. Bear with me. It's getting better. Okay, this is from a news segment by Telemundo. And it's so good, and it's got such good information in it. It does such good coverage of the debate over the mummies that I'm going to possibly play the whole thing. Let's see. Let's see.
Peruvian and foreign investigators. The Peruvian city police.
Son falsas.
Tremendous controversy broke out in Peru after the Ministry of Culture announced that the so-called extraterrestrial mummies are fake, calling Peruvian and foreign researchers who said their origin was from another world as clowns. It has the details, including the reaction of the Mexican researcher, Jaime Maussan. In simple terms, it is a fraud. Flavio Estrada, a forensic archaeologist summoned by the Ministry of Culture, said that these small mummies seized at customs 3 months ago when they were trying to leave for Mexico, where similar ones had been presented in Congress, are nothing more than dolls armed with animal bones and glue.
They are not extraterrestrials. They are not intraterrestrials. They are not a new species. They are not hybrids. They are none of those things that this group of scientific papers say that for 6 years have been presenting these elements, dispersing them, presenting them in the Mexican Congress.
Joyce Mantilla, one of the defenders of the so-called Nazca mummies, responded.
These dolls are not the same as what is at the University of Ica, nor what was presented in Mexico. What they have gone out to do is a farce, trying to confuse public opinion. The Ministry of Defense of the Republic bodies real studies studied by more than 40 professionals from different parts of the world and experts ranging from biologists, geneticists, forensic experts.
Mantilla accuses the Ministry of Culture of passing off these crafts as part of the same group of tridactyl mummies found in 2017 between the Palpa and Nazca Desert in southern Peru. When he said it, he received the backlash.
You've been lying for 6 years. You have spent your time being Maussan's clown. These are dolls. They are armed dolls. As much as those who are in ICA, like the falsehood of the hybrids, with 3 fingers, the big doll, that is false. The only one who believes that story is you, and you are a failure.
Jaime Maussan, a Mexican researcher mentioned in the controversy, also responded.
In reality, they are the ones who are committing the fraud. The bodies that are at the University of Ica are legitimate. And now the Ministry of Culture, in such a light way, wants to destroy an investigation, a case, by presenting it in this way.
The researchers of the so-called Nazca mummies are preparing an important revelation at the end of the month that will not go down well with the Peruvian Ministry of Culture. In addition, they will announce a discovery that will surprise many. In Lima, Liliana Choi, Telemundo. Thank you, Liliana. Journalist Jaime Maussan said that the Nazca mummies that he brought to the Mexican Congress are the most important discovery in history, and that the Peruvian Ministry of Culture does not want to accept that extraterrestrials have been visiting us for thousands of years.
Estos nos visitan desde hace miles de años.
All right, got an exciting discovery at the end of the month. I'm really curious to see what that is. We know that Peru is holding its own hearing, so what is going to come out of that? I can't wait to find out. But to stick with the topic of the Ministry of Culture of Peru running this smear campaign, this disinformation campaign, showing these obvious dolls and trying to pass them off as the Nazca mummies, well, apparently the guy who they seized those dolls from never claimed they were the Nazca mummies. They claimed they were dolls. He said they were dolls. And now he's saying, give me my dolls back. Per Gonzalo Chavez, last night in Peru, a significant development occurred regarding the dolls presented at an event. The creator of these dolls, artist Manuel Cazares, has previously informed the ministry that the items were indeed dolls and had requested their return prior to the event. Despite this, his request was ignored. This incident appears to be part of a larger disinformation campaign that has gained international attention. What the Ministry of Culture does not tell is that those bodies that I analyze were dolls created by Manuel Cazares. He himself told the ministry to return his dolls because it was a request that had been requested of him, and the ministry did not do so. So they knew these were dolls. they knew that the owners said they were dolls, and yet they went ahead and presented them as the Nazca mummies in an effort to debunk the Nazca mummies. And that's just such obvious disinformation. It's disheartening to see that some people are actually falling for it. So yeah, don't fall for that. That is just another hatchet job by, I don't know if it's the control group exactly, although it's very possible that the control group could have some sway in Peru. Entirely possible that the Ministry of Culture is in the pocket of the control group. The Ministry of Culture could also be doing this for religious reasons, or just because they are, married to the mainstream scientific community. Whatever the case may be, they are clearly trying to discredit the Nazca mummies in a very obvious and blatant way. But what are the Nazca mummies? What were those beings? Just who are those guys? Are they still around? Where did they come from? Well, per Gonzalo Chavez, in Peru, the Archaeology Institute that's finding the bodies states that he is being told by local indigenous tribes in the Andes that they are creatures that come from underground in the mountains. So, the locals have been interacting with these beings for thousands of years. They're in the textiles and the artwork of the peoples of the time, 1,000, 2,000 years ago. And they may have some ongoing interactions with the beings. At least it appears they have folklore and mythology around these beings, indicating that they are still around and they're underground and in the mountains. So, it's totally possible if these things were around 1,000 and 2,000 years ago, that they are still around. So, that would definitely settle the debate if they stepped out of the shadows. And this is interesting. This is from J. Alberto, who may or may not be an official in the Mexican government. It says, this is important. The government of Peru, through its transparency portal, has already confirmed that it has not studied the biological evidence investigated by the University of Ica and presented in the Congress of Mexico. So yeah, they were studying dolls. They were not studying the actual Nazca mummies. And the government of Peru, through its transparency portal, is confirming that. So amazing stuff. It's, I hope people aren't falling for the disinformation. And, we need to get more people studying the Nazca mummies. And that's not going to happen if people are falling for the BS. So yeah, we need more labs. We need better labs. We need the best minds and the best equipment that is available to us to study these amazing specimens and finally get some answers about what exactly they are. But let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this Nazca Mummy wrap-up, give me a big thumbs up, smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified about future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, and I know you do, please consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Also, channel members frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.